Hello everybody, and welcome to today's video. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt like your body is trying to tell you something? Have you had particular aches, pains, fatigues, bellyache, tension, anxiety, depression, anything like this for really no reason, no reason that you can put your finger on as to why this is happening? Well, Carl Jung believed that every symptom that we feel in our body is related to something that we have repressed, emotion that we have not processed and that we have not felt for some reason, that we have pushed down. And when our body starts to act up in certain areas, what it's really trying to do is get your attention. It's trying to get your attention. So this energy is trying to get out some way, and you can feel it in several different places. And I'm going to go over 5 areas that are very common, that probably nearly all of you have felt at certain times. And so it really makes you question what is really going on, because your body will tell you when something is not balanced within you. So let's talk about headaches. Let's talk about the head first. So remember that every ache and pain that you have, it's not a random event. This is a communication from your vessel telling you something is not balanced. So with the head, many times this has to do with overstimulation, fatigue, anxiety. So maybe the next time that you really have your head bothering you, you might sit back and ask yourself, okay, what's really going on here? Is there something that I have overdone today? Have I overworked my mind? What might be the reason behind why my head is bothering me? Tension, are you tense about something? Have you been really thinking about something that is causing pressure in your head? The head is very common, and a lot of people do have this. So the key here when our bodies talk to us is to step back for a moment. Take a breath. Take a breath and ask yourself, body, what are you trying to tell me? What are you needing for me to look at today? What is it? Okay? So again, the head is very common. So the second thing that I want to talk about, that is one that I have a lot of, I'll say, issues with, is the neck and shoulders. The shoulders here and the neck, and then kind of down the back of the shoulder blades. This is where we carry emotional weight. And if we've got something that we're not processing, or that we're not wanting to feel, or that we've not appropriately felt and allowed to pass through us, it will build up in that neck and shoulders as tension, maybe a crick in the neck. You might wake up one morning and just have this darn crick in your neck. And your first response or first reaction is to think, well, I slept wrong. Well, maybe you didn't sleep wrong. Maybe you slept like you always sleep, and there is some energy building up that needs to be addressed. And I can honestly tell you that this happens to me often. This is one of the main places where my emotion builds up. And we got to feel it. We've got to address it and feel it to heal it. And we've got to listen to our bodies, or at least pay attention and be open-minded to it. You can try that too. Just try it for fun. What are you trying to tell me right now? So for the shoulders and the neck, questions come up like, are you stuck in life? Are you trying to control something? Do you feel out of control of something in your life? Are you afraid of something? Do you have anger that you're not feeling? Those kinds of things will cause this. And for me, Until I get to the root of it, it will continue on and get worse and worse. I mean, it will get to where I can't even turn my head. I'm using a heating pad. I'm having to take Advil or something like that, to take the edge off of the discomfort. So the real key is, for us to not always pop a pill, but to look, we may have to pop that pill anyway for relief, but to look deeper into it and say, okay, what is this? And many times these things will boil down to what's really, really been on your mind and on your heart. So you can usually get to it if you'll give it a few minutes a day of just of being still, taking a few breaths, and really asking and connecting with your body. The getting still, and that's where your subconscious will speak to you. Okay, again, this is Carl Jung. His teachings are so phenomenal. And Louise Hay is another metaphysical teacher that, she could hit the nail on the head every time with these bodily symptoms. This divine communicator that's trying to communicate with your psyche. So let's talk about a third area in which many people experience these kinds of things, and it's going to be the arms and the hands. So our arms and our hands are our creative area in which we feel, we do. This is how we do things, right? And so we create, we express energy, we work through our hands. And if there's an imbalance here, many times you're holding on to something, you're not letting go. You're holding on to something. You may be holding on to some kind of pain, a resentment, an old wound. Could be something that happened a long, long time ago. I often look at people that have really, really a lot of problems with their hands, especially young people, and I think, what is it, that you haven't processed properly? And these things that I'm talking to you about are not things that we're taught. So I'm here to bring awareness to some of this so you can think about it, because there is no doubt the mind-body connection is real. So again, if your hands or your arms are bothering you, take that pause and ask yourself, what are you trying to tell me? What is it? What might be the cause of this? So I'll go on to the next area of the body, and we're going to talk about the chest now. Of course, the chest is where our heart center is. This is an area where emotion is stored in the way of grief is a big one. Sadness, trapped emotions of heartbreak or loss, things like that. So if you have pain in your chest now, do not forget to always have it checked by a doctor if you're having chest pain. Don't get me wrong here, but what this is about is if you've had things like this checked and you continue to have these symptoms, then something is going on. Something else. Something is going on inside of you in the way of feelings and emotion. And it's got to be expressed, because we've got to feel it to heal it. We have to. And what happens with so many of these things, true story for me, true story for so many of the people I work with, when they are able to pinpoint what it is that they're not wanting to feel, or that's really bothering them, or that they've pushed down, when they start to feel it a little bit at a time, and work on this is called shadow work. When you start to feel it a little bit at a time, it starts to subside. And this is an Eastern medicine technique. If you were to run into an ancient gifted healer, way over in the Middle East or over in the jungles of the Amazon, the question to you would be, what are you carrying on your back? What are you carrying? What are you carrying? Who are you carrying? What things are you carrying? And then they would go on to teach you to sit it down. Sit the weight of this down, okay? So, yeah, so we've got the shoulders, we've got the back, we've got the chest. Let me go on now to the legs and feet real quick, and then I'm going to give you some methods on how to start diffusing and transmuting this energy. So our legs and feet carry us through life, right? They carry us through life. And many times, if your legs or your feet are bothering you, this can have to do with fear of moving forward in your life, or fear of the future, something like this. Something that you're holding on to about the future and taking that next step, literally. Maybe it's something, some dream that you're wanting to achieve, but you're afraid to take that next step. Fear is a big factor when it comes to legs and feet, okay? And there's tons more that I could tell you about all of these centers, but I wanted to focus on the main ones. And by the way, when it comes to your feet, one of the best things that you can do is stay grounded to Mother Earth and be present with her. And that means get your bare feet on the ground. Get them on the ground and allow Mother Earth's energy to come up through your feet, and imagine like you're a tree. Imagine your roots penetrating deep down into the earth and anchoring you. The feet are considered by the ancients as sacred. Your feet are sacred, and they're very, very important spiritually. So with any of these problems, aches, pains that you're having, being grounded is very, very important, but especially with the feet and the legs. So walking barefoot is huge. So as Carl Jung knew and believed, and he was absolutely on point with these things, your unconscious mind, we have to make these things that are unconscious to us, that our body's trying to tell us about, we have to bring them to light. We have to make them conscious. And that way we're able to address them and begin to heal them. So if you're ready to move past some of these aches and pains and various things going on in your body that you are like, what is this? What is this? Is this something I'm just going to have to live with? It very well may not be. It very well may be something that you can address on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, to where it breaks up and you're able to release it yourself. Okay? So, one thing you can do, I'm going to get this real quick because I don't want the video to be too long for you guys. But one thing you can do as you're addressing an area of your body, let's say it's your neck and shoulders, write down the things that you're holding on to, that you're feeling the weight of. Write these things down of what it might be. You'll usually come up with it, because writing is a very, very good way, journaling, to get these things down and out of you onto paper. Write these things down while asking these questions and while being present with yourself. Write down as much as you can. And once you've got that done, take that paper and burn it. Burn it and allow it to just go up in this glittery light. Allow the embers to just go up and away. It's a way of release. It's a very beautiful release ritual. And usually when you're doing this, you will feel lighter. You'll feel much lighter by doing so. So just remember, your body's talking to you. Your body is talking to you. So don't ignore what your body is trying to tell you, okay? Love you guys so much. I will see you around the corner on my next video. Bye-bye.